Okay, my name's Dione. I'm here with Stella, one of my receptionists, and I'm delivering a PowerPoint presentation on develop and use emotional intelligence. However, as we've had no internet and no phones and no service, no NBN for the last 2 days, we're going old school and doing a piece of paper. So we both have a copy of the PowerPoint which has been printed off. I'm just going to run through with Stella and we'll upload it then. Okay, so Stella, I'm just going to let you know before we start that this video is for training and purposes. So you give consent for yourself to be videoed. Excellent. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the first page. Can you find it? I think my first one's missing. Anyway. Okay, so what is emotional intelligence and how can we use it in the workplace? So emotional intelligence has 4 main attributes and is self-awareness, and that's knowing what makes us feel that way. Self-management is knowing how you're feeling. Social awareness is knowing how others are feeling, and social management is how we build relationships. So the use of emotional intelligence in the workplace. So emotional intelligence, or it's often referred to as EI, describes a person's ability to identify, understand, manage and harness their own emotions and those of the people around them. So EI is a vital skill for interpersonal communication and has become an area of interest across multiple disciplines, including the workplace. So why do we need emotional intelligence? So employees acting with emotional intelligence generally produce advantages in their career development and provide benefits for the organisation. A workforce made up of environmentally intelligent individuals improves relationships within the team and helps to generate a positive work culture. Emotionally unintelligent staff struggle to manage their feelings, and as a result they often act impulsively without clear thought to their behaviour, and that the consequences of their actions won't affect themselves or the people around them. So what are the advantages of having emotional intelligence? So constructive feedback instead of personal criticism, and challenging the behaviours and not challenging the people. Supporting colleagues through recognising their emotions and working to reduce stress. Keeping calm and productive under pressure. That's been evident the last couple of days here. Helping to resolve conflicts that arise between team members, and creating a workplace where people are free to express themselves openly, in turn building strong and healthy work relationships. So when someone's got an idea, we can throw that around in staff meetings, team meetings, that sort of thing. And of course this week we're having no internet, no emails, no phones. We've certainly been thrown to the lions. So why emotional intelligence is important in the workplace? So the benefits. The benefits are working towards the organisation's goals regardless of obstacles that arise. So with yesterday, with not having phones or email, we still had to have patients come through, and it was really wonderful to see everybody pull together and just get stuff done. Greater motivation among staff to understand their own emotions and those of their colleagues. So when Bev's sitting there clutching at her chest. Healthy communication that produces common goals across the business. So we've all got the common goal to provide good health care to our patients and great customer service. The collective staff having a positive outlook when it comes to the job at hand. So I think on the whole most of us come to work with a smile on our face and we just get to it. Yeah, exactly. Positive relationships and deeper connections between employees. So again, we all know when one of us is not at our best or that there's something going on. Flexibility. So high emotional intelligence means employees can respond to change effectively and handle any additional stress it brings. So with the new year, we're going through quite a few changes with our new billing policies. We've got accreditation happening. COVID last year, COVID again this year, COVID next year, construction. So we've survived so far anyway. Improved efficiencies with empathetic staff, making decisions based on what is best for everyone involved. So again, making good decisions on what the practice needs and the best for everybody else. And career progression. So staff with a high EI are likely to excel in leadership positions. So what happens when you have a low emotional intelligence? So low EI can cause a variety of problems and in area of business. So some of the most common problems include negative emotions. People feel overwhelmed and controlled by a wide range of negative emotions, including anger, worry, shame, disappointment, fear, and guilt. A lot of negative perceptions. So those who experience negative emotions often have negative perceptions. They might feel weak, underappreciated, and or powerless. Behavioural issues, people become incapable of keeping negative emotions in check, which results in behavioural issues such as uncontrolled outbursts and rash split-second reactions. Poor communication, effective communication doesn't exist. People with low EI are usually too closed off and too self-centred to understand how others or appreciate suggestions. They have difficulty expressing themselves, and low EI often results in misunderstandings, especially when we get those patients that are frustrated and angry and don't understand the procedure, and expect to have their scripts delivered in a heartbeat. Yep. And reduce proactivity. So leaders and workers become less proactive when dealing with emotions, decisions, and or productivity. Reduced productivity can lead to weak direction when communicating about projects and tasks. So how do we get it? The good news is EI is contagious, just like our friend COVID. And EI is not static metrics, so meaning individuals can continually work to improve both their intellectual and emotional capacity. So you don't just do a weekend course in EI and suddenly become empathetic. So there's
maturity.
Maturity, that's right. Not like those one-day workshops where those power workshops where you go out and do a weekend and have a spa and team building, everyone's great. So tips to improve your emotional intelligence. So practice observing how you feel. So those moments when you know you're a little bit tense or you're a little bit on the edge, pay attention to how you behave. So if you happen to have one of those anger outbursts, just have a little stop and think of what's maybe caused it and how you could do things differently next time. Question your opinions. This is one that I've actually become quite familiar with myself over the years. So sometimes you'll have an opinion and you assume it's going to be right. It often helps to sit back and digest things. So I know myself with my car trouble. I could have rushed out and bought a brand new car, and I know it's taken a long time and longer than it should have. But just sitting there and digesting over if that first response is the right response. Take responsibility for your feelings. So if you are short with someone, and apologise. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling myself today. I'm sorry I snapped. That sort of thing. Take time to celebrate the positive, but also don't ignore the negative. So I think a lot of times we don't give ourselves credit for when we do hold it together, especially at those. There are moments, and we all have them, that everyone pushes us to our limit, and sometimes that nice big breath and taking a moment.
But also know your limit.
Yeah, exactly. And improving emotional intelligence is a lifetime process. Again, it's not something that's going to happen in one day. Maturity, lessons learned. This is one of my favourite quotes from Disney, so I included this. And this, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. That's one of my little things I have posted around the house on a magnet on the fridge, actually, which instead of sitting there and thinking about great ideas, to actually get out and have a crack. And don't forget to breathe. That's the most important thing.
Well done.
Do you have any questions, Sarah? Do you want to add anything? Or?
I think it's tolerance and acceptance of others.
Yes.
And patience.
Yeah. And patience. Pardon the pun. or include the pun.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. So that ends our little presentation on develop and use emotional intelligence. Thank you.